Walaikum Assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you all had a good groups and everything. Okay, alhamdulillah. You can get out your books now. We're going to be on the same lesson as we did last time. We have to finish it up and then inshallah we'll do the exercises. So lesson number 12. Okay. So what did we learn in this lesson? Do you remember? Without looking at the notes. Good, okay. So we learned about, basically there was one thing we learned. We learned about this al, good. And we learned about definite versus indefinite. There's two kinds of nouns, definite and indefinite. Oh, mashallah, you did the exercises. They're easy, right? Alhamdulillah, you were able to finish some of them. Oh, good, mashallah. So we'll do some of them in class as well. So basically, what is a definite noun? Very quickly, we'll review it before we move on and finish up the lesson. What is a definite noun? Good, a specific one. So definite, specific. If you're confused about what any of this means, if you don't know what definite means, inshallah ask. Specific. Well, how do we translate it in English? Exactly, so the definite one was al, and then the indefinite one was tanween, right? That's how we can tell the difference. Indefinite is common, right? It's like a book, right? It's not specific, exactly. Yes, the, and whatever you're talking about, the book or something, whatever you want to say. Al-kitabu, good. Okay, inshallah, listen to the recording. That's, alhamdulillah, it's very good that you're going to make up. Good, so instead of saying this is a house, we're going to say this is the house. Right? There's two different things you could say. A house, a pen, the pen. You guys can tell the difference, right? One is just any pen, and this one is a very specific pen. You're talking about the pen that, you know, the pen you're holding. Not just anyone. Exactly, the one that you're talking about. My pen, this pen. Okay, so it's a and the. Basically, yes, Dimra, it's here it is. Indefinite would be like a book. And then definite is like the book. And we can tell the difference because one has a tanween and one has al. Oh, Rohina, you can ask. Just ask. You don't need to. Oh, does ma on ma start from writing book number 1 from... Yes, start from the beginning. Ma on has a... Oh, you're talking about right here, a ma'un hadha? Is this what you're talking about, a ma'un hadha? Okay, so this question we decided, what did it mean, a ma'un hadha? I can see why you're confused. I know exactly what you're talking about. What did the sentence mean? Good, is this water? Is this water? But when we say, do you really say a water? In English, do you say a water? Right, it doesn't make sense. That's why we don't use a, but it still means any water. Is this water in general? It still means that because it has the tanween. We just don't say a. Yeah, we just don't say a in English, but we still mean it's not specific, right? We still mean just any water. Is this water? You're not saying is it hot water, cold water, in the glass water. It's just, is this water? That's why. So we just don't say it in English, but we still mean indefinite, right? Over here we use definite. This, the water. This specific water, the water. Al-ma'u. Yeah. So it still means like, you know, not specific. Just because we didn't use an in it, an a, it still means the same thing. Okay, so inshallah we were on the last two, right here. Okay, so let's read them aloud. Aina al-masjidu. So we're asking question, Aina al-masjidu? Can you guys tell me what this means? Very, very easy, right? Aina al-masjidu. Good. So aina, we know, is that question word. It's the where question word. That tells us, you know, the location, the place. Al-masjidu, aina al-masjidu. Instead of a masjid, we have the masjid. Good. So all of you guys caught that. Al-masjidu. Where is the masjid? And so you're talking about very specific one, right? The masjid. Okay, so yes, exactly, not a. The masjid. So al-masjidu hunak. Al-masjidu hunaka. What does that mean? Al-masjidu hunaka. Good. So we first look al-masjidu, the masjid. Hunaka is there. And so we added the is just like usual. Rayan, are you talking about huwa? Inshallah, we'll get there. Al-masjidu hunaka. The masjid is there. So it's a very specific masjid they're talking about. And just like before, we can make the same kinds of sentences. We can point to things, we can say any kind of sentence. The same things happen, right? The same rules. Feminine, masculine, close, near, everything is the same. Huwa kabirun wa jadidun. Huwa kabirun wa jadidun. Good, mashallah, all of you guys have it right. So huwa, it is. Huwa is it. Is kabirun, big. Wa jadidun, and new. Good. So you guys knew it was it. How did you know it was it? Because I always thought that huwa meant he. Who can tell me a good explanation? Why did you use it? Good, so masjid is male, so that's why we used huwa. Good, it is an inanimate object. Good, Samur, exactly. So instead of saying he is, we just use it in English. It's an object, exactly. So just because we always say huwa is he is, doesn't mean you can't use it for objects. Good, so pronoun for male thing. Good, Muhsin. Huwa is the male pronoun. Huwa is like the third person male pronoun, male. Good, male pronoun. Exactly, guys. So do you understand? This is al-ain al-masjidu. Al-masjidu hunaka. Huwa kabirun wa jadidun. Huwa is the male pronoun. We can say, you know, it means he is. It replaces male things. He or it. Jadidun meant new. Huwa is basically male pronoun. It replaces male things. Rohina, let's think about it. Is water male or female? Who wants to take a guess? Hadha ma'un. Do you think it's going to be male or female? Hadha ma'un. Good, exactly. And you guys could tell because hadha is male, so ma'un has to be male too. Hadha ma'un, this is water. Exactly, Hiba. So we knew it was hadha. So inshallah, you guys can figure out this stuff too. Because you know the sentences have to match. Exactly. So let's look at the next one. وَأَيْنَ الْبَيْتُ وَأَيْنَ الْبَيْتُ. Good. So this is very easy, right? وَأَيْنَ الْبَيْتُ. And where is the house? The house. Good. So, and where is the house? This time, remember, we're always using al. Al-baytu huna. Al-baytu huna. Good. The house. Al-baytu. The house is here. Huna is here. The house is here. Muhammad, inshallah, please don't ask this question because we are in the middle of class. If you do want to know when break is, inshallah, you could have checked the email, but please, we're in class right now. Huwa saghirun wa qadimun. Huwa saghirun wa qadimun. So it's the same sentences as before, right? Huwa saghirun wa qadimun. So huwa, it is, just like before. Saghirun, small. Wa and qadiman, old. So it was the house. It's a very specific house. And this house is over here. It's small and it's old. So it's a very specific house, right? Whenever we see al, we know we're talking about a certain one, not just anyone. Okay, I have a quick question for you before we move on, because I didn't actually. We have exercises next. Whenever we see al, like al baytu, or let's do a different word. We always use al baytu. Who can give me another word? Anyone? Daftarun. Okay, so we see the word daftarun. Daftarun. How would we change this to be specific? This means a notebook, right? How do we change this? Good, so the first step, add an al. So we say al daf and then what is the last thing we do? Take away the tanween. Good, mashallah. Yes, exactly. So we know the steps. Al daftaru. No more tanween. We take off this one dhamma. Al daftaru. Why can't we have a tanween and an al? Why do we have to make sure we take off the tanween? Good. So somebody says contradictory. That's a good word. Yes. If the pointing word is male, and yes, so if the pointing word is male, then the thing that you're pointing to is also male, because sentences have to match. Exactly. They don't go together. Tanween and al, they don't like each other. They won't ever be on the same word. They don't like each other. Exactly. So they don't mix. One is definite, one is indefinite. It doesn't even make sense. Exactly, Amal. They're not friends. They won't ever be friends. They won't ever be next to the same word. Exactly. So al is the and tanween is a. One's definite, one's indefinite. Do you have any questions, or should we move on to some of the exercises? That is harsh. They won't ever be together. Exercises. Okay. So we're ready, and inshallah, if you do have a question on the exercises, we'll answer them there. Okay, so the exercises. Ramik, we're just going over the exercises. We finished up the lesson. Okay, so basically, we have to put on an al onto whatever word we're talking about. Somebody give me a word which you can't put al next to. We always talk about putting al next to words. What kinds of words don't we put al next to? Good, exactly. I want you to remember this: names. We don't ever put al or next to names, proper nouns. What's another kind of proper noun? Maybe there's some other ones. Good. Some kinds of places, they won't ever have al next to them because they're already places, right? They're already definite. They're already people. So things like Jamalun, things like Noor, we don't put al-Noor. I mean, if we're talking about a name, right? We don't ever use al-Jamalun. So things like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Al-Toronto. Okay, so inshallah we'll work on this. Number one is masjidun. So you want to make it definite now. Masjidun, now you want to make it definite. Can you have indefinite, non-definite in the same sentence? Al-baytu wa baytun. You could say something like, you know, if you're making a list, you know, it depends on what sentence you're making. If you can make the sentence in English, you can make it in Arabic. There's no rule that says you're not allowed. Okay, al-masjidun, good. So our first step, how did you guys do that? Al-masjidu. Good, so you knew we can't make them definite and indefinite once, so we added the al, took off the tanween. Good, okay. So al-masjidu. Masjidun, al-masjidu. Next one. Qalamun. Qalamun, a pen. Now we change it to al-qalamu. Good, separate the non-friends. Al-qalamu. So we added the al, took off the tanween. Al-qalamu. Next one, kitabun. This one we've seen all the time, right? Al-kitabu. Kitabun changes to al-kitabu. Does it always end in oo sound? Yes, if you see qalamun, you're just going to take off the tanween, so al-qalamu. Inshallah, words aren't always ending with tanween, but why can't it be kitabi? Kitabi would mean my book, right? Kitabi with a ya at the end. Always for all words with tanween. Let's say it was, there's going to be different cases. Inshallah, we'll learn those later. But for now, we're always going to have a dhamma. Dhamma and two dhammas. We're always going to have dhamma and two dhammas for now. Inshallah, we'll learn when things change. So, akhun changes to... Yes, exactly, Fatima. So if you read in the Quran too, you'll see that there's other kinds of tanweens, there's other kinds of things, right? Akhun means brother. So akhun changes to al-akhu. Good. There you go. Al-akhu. So this means the brother. Good. Okay, so the brother instead of a brother. Akhun means a brother. So next one, bintun means changes. What does it mean? Bintun means, we'll go over some of the meanings of this. Bintun means not son, daughter. Good, daughter. Wouldn't the definite for brother be a name? No, Rohina, it's not a name like Jamalun. It's a person, right? Just because it's a person doesn't mean it's a name. A brother could mean any brother, right? Jamalun is a specific brother. Al-bintu. Good, so you guys are all right. Al-bintu. The daughter, exactly. Al-bintu. Okay, so the next one, ma'un. So we saw this one before, right? Ma'un, water, changes to the water. Good, mashallah. So check your answers. If you've already done it, check if you've done them all right. Al-ma'u. Okay, the water. Like Zamzam. Okay, yes. Exactly. Al-ma'u. Okay. So the next exercise, are you ready to go? I think inshallah we'll be able to finish this page and then I'll give you guys a break. Okay. Okay, this time we're doing the opposite as what we did before. Instead of adding an al, we're changing it to the opposite. So what is this? Is this definite turning to indefinite or is this indefinite turning to definite? What are you changing the words to? You're changing it from... What are you changing it to? So you see al-kitabu. Good. So you're changing it from definite, like al-masjidun or al-masjidu, definite, to masjidun, to any kind of masjid. Definite to indefinite. Al to no al. Al to tanween. Okay, so let's do the first one. Al-kitabu. Now we want to change it to any book. Al-kitabu changes to kitabun. Good. Kitabun. Now it has a tanween. So now we're just doing the opposite, right? The book changes to a book. Al-ummu. The mom changes to... Good, okay. Questions, okay. What's the question? Ummun. A mother. So we change the mother to a mother. Okay. Al-abu. What does this mean? Al-abu? Good, the dad. Specific, the father. Changes to abun. Good. So make sure you have the tanween on there. Abun. The dad to a dad. Okay, all the questions about, when is class ending or when is break, inshallah, look at your email. And that'll tell you the times. So, al-ma'u changes to al-ma'u. So we want to take away the al. We want to take away the definite, the. So we change it to ma'un. Good. Do you all understand how we're doing this? Does anybody have any questions? Is anybody having trouble doing this? Changing from definite to indefinite. Good. Okay, so basically all it is, take off an al and add the tanween. Take off an al, add a tanween. Good. Okay, it's easy, mashallah. Al-ukhtu. Al-ukhtu. What does this mean? Al-ukhtu means good. Al-ukhtu means the sister, right? The sister. And then ukhtun means a sister. Okay. Exactly. Al-kitabu changes to kitabun. So al-qalamu. Al-qalamu changes to qalamun. Qalamun. Okay. So was that easy? Any questions before, and then I'll give you guys a break. If there's no questions, inshallah we'll have break. No questions? Let's see. Okay. So if you do have any questions at all, inshallah on Tuesday you can ask. Write them down. Yes, it will be emailed. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.